Hey everybody, it's Brooke. I am back to finish off my poetry phobo / junk journal that I used in April and May, and also to finish off the cover of my June Fobonichi. I'm going to start with June because I'm a backwards kind of girl, and this is the memory snippet roll spine, I think is its name, that we made in the last couple videos. And this is my June Fobonichi, which actually is complete. The pages are complete, but I just haven't finished covering it. So what this is a very lovely 1980s or 90s address book that I found at Goodwill. Just a 3-ring binder. And I think you can probably see through. Well, maybe you can't. There was a very attractive apple on the front and this green trim, and yeah, it was not my favorite. So all I did was take some vintage linen that I found at a thrift store, and this is the same piece, the same napkin, and cut it in half. And I should have done this on camera. I don't know why I didn't, but I ironed the napkin and kind of eyeballed it on my journal or on my address book like that, and cut it in half, and then lined up. The only part I worried about was trying to get this edge, this lace edge, right on the edge of the book, and down here this pretty embroidered part, or crocheted rather, part lined up. And then I just glued all around the edge, glued the spine, looking good, right? It wasn't quite wide enough, so I cut it in half and stretched it. I moved this part over and did the same thing on the back. I guess oh, look, yikes. I probably should have put the lace on the top because it's going to get squashed when it's sitting on the shelf, this edge. But, oh well, there you go. So I'm going to go in and fix this up a little bit. The handy dandy Fabrifix. Oh, I better put that lid on. Smush that down a little bit. And I've been thinking sort of about, gosh, do I want to put anything else on here? Do I want to layer some fabric or anything, photos? And I don't think I'm going to. I'm behind. I've been procrastinating and finishing off these journals, and I kind of want the spine to be the superstar. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the spine with you guys, and there's nothing in the world to say that I can't go back later and put something else on here. So actually, before we do the spine, I want to open this up. And usually what I will do is put an envelope or a pocket or something, both front and back, but I never did in this one. So what I'm going to do is, I do have a piece of memorabilia that's sort of large for June that I want to keep in a pocket in the back. So I just pulled this out of my stash of stuff. I found a stack of these envelopes at the Goodwill, and I guess they must have been for W-2s or something, but I like their double window. Sorry about the glare. And so I'm going to use that, and it's too wide this way, but that's not a problem, so let's just cut it off. Here we go. This looks like right there is good. So I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to cut off. Oh, that is so straight. Yay, go Brooke. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then I'm going to cut off the top lid. Like that. Get rid of these bits. Out of the way. Make sure this is going to fit. Oh, I just threw those away, and every gluey thing in my trash can stuck to me. Yeah, perfect. Yep, works for me. So let's grab our Tim Holtz ink it up a little. And some journals, personal journals, my own journals, I do more on the inside, some I do less. Just depends on how I'm feeling that day. And cover that back up. Do we want to leave it as a tuck, or do we want to make it a pocket? Let's make it a pocket so things don't fall out. I'm just going to use my Fabrifix again since it's sitting right here. So I'll glue up this part. Poof, pocket. Just like magic. And I realized that that looks odd, so let's take off a little more. Then we'll have to re-ink. Oh my goodness. There, now that's a pocket. Yep. And actually, as long as we have to re-ink, why don't we put a thumb circle in there for fun? And again, I'm all about the eyeballing. You can measure. I'm not going to do it in the center because sometimes it's hard to get through that window. So we'll just make it a little off center and that'll be fine. Take my, I think this, yeah, it's a 1.5 inch circle punch. Kind of line it up, give it a munch. And re-ink this. I think that I really am not going to do a whole lot much more on the cover because that was some really fine English, wasn't it? I'm not going to do a whole lot more on the cover because I'm so in love with this spine. I want it to be the superstar. And it's time to move up and on. So that's going to fit perfectly there. And we can actually make it a double pocket because the inside of the envelope will be one. And if we just glue the 3 sides, then behind the envelope will be one. And I don't really need it to be a double pocket right now, but why give up the opportunity? Who knows? And that way I can use less glue, huh? So I'm just going around the 2 sides, trying to stay pretty close to the edge. I actually have Victoria's graduation handbill. That's not a handbill. What is it? Program. There we go. And I want to put it in the back pocket to keep for posterity. So I'm going to eyeball that. That old trick, that scientific term of mashing it down. Perfect. Let that dry before I put anything in it because I am notorious for putting things in too soon and having them get glued in. Don't do that. But if you do, it's not that big a deal. And you can see up here, not very straight. The outside is showing unevenly. I don't care. I like that look. I like it that it's rustic and homemadey looking, and I love it. For this particular book, that works for me. So we'll let that dry. We'll close this up and dust it off. All the little bits are sticking to it. Oh, there, I said bits again, darn it. All right, so I'm going to stand it up. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to try to zoom out while I am still on camera. Hold on. Anything could happen. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if you guys can see this. I don't know what's going on, but let's just try zooming out a little bit. Let's see what happens. Well, I didn't zoom out very much, but enough that you can see the spine. Okay, so now we have our memory spine that we made, our memory snippet spine. And I'm double checking it again to make sure it's right side up. Let me move this down. And what I'm going to do is sort of feel around for the top of the spine and the bottom of the spine. Hey, how about if I turn it that way? There we go. So we are just about good. So I'm going to take my scissors, move this out of the way. The pencil marks I made on the muslin at the beginning of the whole project were pretty accurate, so we've got just the right size here. Cutting that and cutting off the extra tool as well. Double check it again. You never can check too much. And if there's some sticking off the top, I don't mind that at all. And see how it's looking wrapped. Yep, it's looking pretty good. I think I will take off a little bit more of the netting. So I'm just grabbing my scissors and hacking away at it. Don't want it to be straight. Don't want it to be even. None of that. Just going around. Making sure. Oh, there we go. Trim that a little bit. Move all the scraps out of the way because they're sticking to everything. All right, it's the moment of truth. We're going to glue it on. Once again, checking this is the bottom of the book. So we want our spine oriented in the correct direction. And I'm going to sort of move it around and see where I like the spine. And I think I like it there. You can see the June. Yep. It's as straight as it's going to be. Whoa! Okay, we'll do it that way. We'll do it flat. That's good too. Still have a few stars floating around, confetti stars. Yep, so I'm going to grab the Fabrifix and put it on the spine itself, and I'm going to be generous because we don't want this going anywhere, and it's also bending around the spine, so I'm going to do about half of it. Holding the top half with my left hand so that it doesn't move. Press it down, press it down. I really, really am in total love with how this spine came out. Every little piece in there reminds me of something that happened during the month of June. That makes me happy. And I'm going to swing this around this direction because it's easier to work with my left hand or my right hand. And I'm going to pick up the spine again and glue like crazy. Going right up to the edges of that muslin, up over the lace. I think that we have a star leak somewhere. I'm going to have to go in and see. Or I guess eventually they'll leak out, and just the ones that want to stay will be in there, and that's cool too. Glitter bomb myself, that's fun. Alright, put some on there. Put the lid on, Brooke, put the lid on. Lay that down. Smooth it. Press it. Yeah, look, I think they're leaking out right there somewhere. Luckily we put in plenty. So I will go in with my brighter light and my glue and see if I can fix that up when we're done here. So smushing it down, that's all I'm doing is just pressing to make sure we have good adherence. And probably I would wait until this dried to go any further. But what I'm going to do is stand it up like that, curve it with my hands, just pushing that glue down. And let's take a look at the front. Oh, I like that. Just that little bit peeks over the edge. So grab some more Fabrifix and put some glue on the stuff that didn't get it. Curve that over. Just kind of roll it with my hand, getting it used to the shape of the spine. Press it down. Glue strings. Oh no, I didn't put the lid on. We have a volcano again. When will I learn? If you know me, you know the answer is yeah, probably never. Probably never. Anyway, so turn it around, spin it this way. Looks like this could use some glue, some tacking down. And I will go back after I let this sit for a couple hours. Fabrifix, Fabri-Tac all dries really quickly. So I'll let it just hang out for a couple hours and I'll go back and make sure I got every place that needs gluing. But usually you get it in the first run, or I do. Yeah, sometimes the second run. So there's that. Let's peek up here on the top. Give it a good smush. I could have gone a little more that way because June got wrapped a little bit, but that's fine. Check out the back. Yep, we got stars. We got stars coming out. And this actually looks pretty glued. Yep, I think that's in good shape. So, there you have it. There's the spine that we made. There's the front of the book. This part's being stubborn with its vintage covering on it. There's the inside with our... Oh, see, I didn't let this sit. It got shifted while we were messing. I should have let it dry. It's not going anywhere now. That's fine. I can live with it like that. There's the inside, and there's the back. And I am just delighted. The only thing I would have done differently is wrapped it that way a little more towards the front, but I still am in love with it. And I think just for fun, just to gild the lily, as they say, let's put one dangle on, because you can never have enough. So I've got my box of bead bits. What should we put on? I am really liking the maroons and pinks, so maybe we should look for something kind of pink and sparkly. Oh, look, a little pink angel. That is what's going to go on there. Perfect. It was laying pretty much on top. Must have been a sign. Just looking for my Tim Holtz pins, my bulb pins, which are right in here. And grab one of those out. Not particular about the finish, the metal finish. I really never am. I like a mix. So we'll put those away. Let's see. Bulb pins on camera, always tricky. I think I will orient it towards the front so that it will hang more towards the front. And again, I probably should wait for this to dry, but let's go ahead and do it. Whoop. Oh no! It was an explosion. Excuse me. Going under my desk. Can't leave an open bulb pin laying around. That's just trouble waiting to happen. So I'm going to slide that bulb pin, allegedly, through the charm jump ring and see, without putting it directly in my face, if we can get that pushed through. Come out. Come out. There we go. And close that up. My fingers are covered with glue, so everything is 10 times harder than it should be. I think I'm out of baby wipes. That is a problem. So we'll push that down. A little more glitter, a little more fun, and that will hang. Oh, I'm trying to show it to myself, my favorite thing. That will hang off the spine just like that. And I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. That's it. Love this journal. I wish June wasn't over so I could keep using it. But I have to tell you, I did really enjoy using the ring binding for my junk journal Fobonichi. And I think when I'm done with my next one, I'm going to go ahead and break out the 5 ring binders that I've been hoarding for years and use that for my next one. So that is that for June. Let me put that out of the way. I'll be doing a flip through on the whole Fobonichi not too long from now. And here's our much loved and abused The Golden Book of Poetry Phobo. This was April and May of this year. And I did go ahead and finish it with some metal book corners because the corners were in pretty bad shape. I'd already put on this ribbon seam binding. I dyed the seam binding to kind of go with the front. I just love this book, and I decided not to change the cover. I just left it so I can appreciate it and look at it just this way. But I did put on the corners, and then dun-dun-dun, I made another little snippet memory spine for it. And there's that one. Love this one too. I love this technique. I cannot tell you enough how much fun it is and ask you to give it a try. And then here's the back of the book, the metal corners again. And I don't know if I did anything on the inside that I haven't shown you. We finished the flip throughs of this one, so it's ready to go on the shelf. No, I think I had these pockets in the front when we were working on it. And yep, nope, we looked at that. I need to finish off this spine. I guess I should probably do that while we're here and the Fabrifix is out. Just going to, this is the fabric that I lined my homemade spine with, and I left it loose because I wasn't sure if I was going to put anything on the inside covers. But again, I'm just lagging behind. I don't think I'll put anything else in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down. I'm not going to close this up right now because that Fabri-Tac is wet and it soaks through the fabric some because I used a pretty heavy hand. And I'd already done the front, so we're good on that one. I'm going to reclip these envelopes here to remind me to put our little baby bird saga in there. So I'll clip those right there. And again, I'm just going to leave this open to dry. And I love how it looks. I'm so in love with this fabric. And I love this journal. I had a wonderful time making this journal. And that is the end of the Poetry Fauxbonichi junk journal. So that's how I use my memory snippet spines. That's how I finished these 2 journals. On to July. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Check down below for every place you can stalk us on the internet. We do have a Facebook page, and there are oftentimes free printables over there. And thanks for spending your time with us. Have a great day. Bye.